Hey, what's up, man? It's Dario, right? I think that you missed the point of my video. Or maybe I just fucked up in how I delivered the message that I was trying to deliver, which is completely possible. Because I was trying to find some common ground that would get us beyond this arguing back and forth about the same shit. I think that we have a fundamental difference about what civilization, the word civilization, means to us. Like, I think I have a completely different idea of what civilization is than you do. Not that either one is right, it's just a different relation to that word. We assign different meaning to that word. And I really had to resist the urge to continue down this path of this argument and go off on what I think civilization means and why I think civilization needs to end. But that's not the point. The point of this whole communication was to put our differences aside and find common ground. Now with that, I'm going to disagree with you on one thing. I know, I'm a total fucking hypocrite. I don't think that we need to define culture of assholes, because I think we all know what that is, who that is. It's a system that puts the value of money above the value of human and non-human life, above the value of clean air, clean water, a clean and healthy natural environment. I think it's a way of thinking that puts us outside and above the natural world, and that this is the way that all humans have to live and have to continue to live regardless of the consequences. The enemy is anyone that contributes to the killing of millions of species, millions of human beings, millions of acres of forest, anyone that contributes to the polluting of the air, the water, of the natural world that we need to survive. Einstein was the enemy. I am the enemy. Anyone that contributes to culture of assholes, continued exploitation and destruction of the planet in any way is the enemy. What I mean by that is the enemy is inside of us. It's the way that we live, and it's the ways that we contribute to the continuation of the raping and the pillaging of the earth. Now, this system, our way of life, doesn't have a monopoly on fucked up ways of being, fucked up behavior. Hunter-gatherers can be fucked up. I mean, that's common sense. But this isn't about morality. It's about sustainability. If you don't want to live like a hunter-gatherer, then don't. There's so many different ways to live sustainably. But the key is sustainability. I think that we can agree that an unsustainable way of living is basically anyone that takes more than they give back. Because eventually the balance is going to be lost. If hunter-gatherers take more than they give back, then their way of life is going to end eventually, either by abandonment because that way of life isn't working, or by the death of its members because there's not enough food, or whatever unbalance that they created has killed them off. We want the same thing. We want the destruction of our planet to stop. We want to survive. We want the non-human species to survive. We want the plants to survive. We want the planet to survive, because without all of these things surviving, we can't survive. We want a place that's inhabitable for our children and our grandchildren and our grandchildren's children and their children. That's the point of all of this. So why are we still arguing about bullshit? We have a common enemy. Our common enemy is the mentality that we can take and take and take and take and not give back as much as we take and still survive. That we are outside and above the natural world, and that we can continue to exploit the planet and still survive. And you can call that mentality whatever you want to call it, but I suggest that we just call it our common enemy. You say that Zach and Penniless Cripple don't want to communicate with you, or they don't communicate with you. Maybe it's that, I don't want to speak for them, but maybe it's that they just don't want to debate with you about the same shit over and over and over again. Maybe they see that that's time and energy that could be better spent doing other things, making different kinds of videos. I just think that our time and energy can be better spent going after our common enemy and trying to accomplish our common goals. The problem I have with this debating and arguing and whatnot is that it's dividing and competitive. Like, I'm right, you're wrong kind of thing. What I want to do is communicate on a cooperative level, where we're working together and we're building. So yeah, I think we just need to stop arguing about this, because I mean, we're just going to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. With stuff like this, nobody's going to change their mind, you know? So, I mean, it's pointless. I mean, the only thing I would suggest, if you're interested, is read Beyond Civilization. It's a short, quick read, and it might clear up for you what I see as going beyond civilization. It's not getting rid of art and science and all of this shit. But yeah, there I go. Back into the argument. Pulling me in, man. Alright. That's all I have to say. Common enemy, common ground. Let's focus on that. Cool? Cool.